Now, more than 20,000 refugees fleeing fighting in the Central Democratic Republic of Congo have sought refuge in overcrowded villages across the border in neighboring Angola. The United Nations says the refugees reported fleeing attacks from militia groups who are targeting police, military officials and civilians who they believe are supporting or representing the government. UNHCR officials say some of the refugees have had to hide in the forest for days in their bid to reach safety in Angola.
People is arriving in desperate conditions. They are without water since days because they fled through the bush to cross the border. Without food, they arrive really sick. We're receiving in the last days a lot of wounded and injured people that are transported by helicopters as priority by the army and are immediately transferred at the hospital where registration happens.
Well, more than 400 people have been killed in the DRC conflict and more than 1 million have been displaced, with the UN identifying 40 mass graves. Well, now for more on the influx of Congolese refugees to Angola, Markkus Aikomus, UNHCR's Senior Regional External Relations Officer for Southern Africa, joins me by phone from Pretoria, South Africa. Now, Markkus, one question here is, this looks like a number that has suddenly just crossed over the border. How ready was UNHCR and Angola in accommodating these thousands of Congolese?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me in your show today. So far, around 22,000 Angolan refugees, the Congolese refugees have crossed to the northern Angola since early April. And new arrivals are being accommodated by Angolan authorities in makeshift reception centers of Musonge and Kakanda, as well as around the provincial capital of Dundo, some 10 kilometers from the border between Angola and DRC. And due to the overcrowding of these centers, we are in the process of identifying another reception center to decongest and these two existing centers. Also, the government has identified a new site in Lovua municipality, which is some 90 kilometers from the border. And UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, have provided technical assistance to the government to identify and assess this place. And now the preparations are on the way to provide necessary services.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges you're facing as UNHCR, and who is coming into your aid at the moment? Well,
at the moment we are providing humanitarian assistance for new arrivals, including food, potable water, shelter, medical attention, toilet and showers. Of course, the shelter conditions in these makeshift reception centers are poor, and that's why we urge that as soon as we either identify another temporary place to relocate the people, or make preparations then to relocate asylum seekers from the current places to a new site. Also, we advocate that the asylum seekers should be relocated at least 50 kilometers from the border area because of the security situation. So this new site that the government has identified is some 90 kilometers from the border. So wow. We are working on to make that available as soon as possible.
Quite some challenge. We'll stay on this story. Thank you very much, Markkus. That is Markkus Aikomus, is the UNHCR's Senior Regional External Relations Officer for the Southern African region.